One of the biggest mistakes new writers make when creating villains is treating them as nothing more than obstacles for the protagonist to overcome. They show up just to block the protagonist. They speak only to make threats. They do terrible things just to prove how bad they are. On the surface, this kind of villain might seem intimidating, but underneath, they feel empty. Readers won't remember them. They'll only see them as a tool the author uses to push the plot forward. So how do you write a villain who actually feels real? 1. Give your villain a goal of their own. A villain shouldn't exist just to destroy the world or kill the protagonist. Ask yourself, what does this person actually want? Maybe it's power. Maybe it's revenge. Maybe it's recognition. Maybe it's protecting someone they care about. Or maybe it's fixing what they believe is a broken world. The most compelling villains usually aren't trying to be evil. They have their own logic. They know exactly what they're doing, and they genuinely believe they're right. For example, a villain who wants to overthrow a kingdom isn't necessarily evil. Maybe that kingdom sacrificed their family years ago. From the protagonist's perspective, they're a rebel. From their own perspective, they're seeking justice. 2. Create a clash of beliefs, not just actions. A weak villain only gets in the protagonist's way. A strong villain challenges the protagonist's worldview. If the protagonist believes kindness can change the world, the villain believes kindness only leads to weakness. If the protagonist believes in rules and institutions, the villain sees those rules as tools the powerful use to control everyone else. If the protagonist wants to save one person, the villain may believe a few must be sacrificed to save many. Now the villain isn't just there to fight the protagonist. They're there to force the protagonist to make difficult choices. 3. Let the villains be right about something. A villain who's completely wrong usually doesn't carry much weight. Readers can tell right away that they're wrong, so they never really take them seriously. Instead, let the villain tell part of the truth. Maybe they point out the protagonist's naivety. Maybe they expose corruption in society. Maybe they reveal the flaws in a broken system. Readers may disagree with their methods, but they'll recognize that the problem they're pointing at is real. That's where the tension comes from. The villain isn't creating chaos for no reason. They're chasing the wrong solution to a real problem. 4. Don't make the villain's entire life revolve around the protagonist. One of the clearest signs of a plot device villain is that their entire world revolves around the protagonist. Every waking moment, they're thinking about how to hurt the protagonist, stop the protagonist, or create problems for the protagonist. Real people don't work that way. Neither should villains. They should have their own lives, relationships, plans, and pressures. Maybe they have subordinates to manage, allies to win over, old wounds to hide, and resources to fight for. Their actions should serve their own goals first, not just the needs of the plot. Even when they're off-screen, they should still feel like a real person whose life is moving forward. 5. Make the villain pay a price. Every meaningful choice should come with consequences. Villains are no exception. Maybe revenge costs them their closest friends. Maybe power costs them trust. Maybe their ideals slowly transform them into the very thing they once hated. Consequences give a character weight. Without them, the villain becomes little more than a switch the writer flips on and off whenever the plot needs conflict. To sum it up, a great villain isn't defined by how evil they are. They're defined by their goals, their logic, their scars, and their convictions. They can be cruel. They can be obsessive. They can be unforgivable, but they can't be empty. So the next time you're building a villain, don't start by asking, how can they hurt the protagonist? Start by asking, if the protagonist didn't exist, where would this person's life be going? The moment you can answer that question, your villain stops being a plot device and starts becoming a real character.